What's up guys, Davey here from HomeBuff.com, and in this video I'm going to be doing a review on the Sprint LG Viper 4G LTE, and like I do with all my reviews, I'm going to be doing a quick hardware tour and then getting right into the review. So on the front of the device you have a 4-inch going diagonally IPS display that's 800 by 480 in resolution. On the top right you have a VGA front facing camera, got your earpiece and normal sensors. On the bottom you have 4 capacitive touch buttons for home, menu, back, and search. As you can see, they don't stay on for that long, but hopefully that gives you an idea of what it looks like. On the right side, you have absolutely nothing. On the left, you have your volume rocker for volume up and down, and your micro USB charging port right here. On the top of the device, you have your 3.5mm headset jack, secondary mic, and power button. On the back, you have your 5 megapixel camera capable of 1080p video capture, and your LED flash. Got your LG logo right here, and at the very bottom, you have your speaker grill. And at the bottom of the device itself, you have nothing but a little slot where you can put in your fingernail to prop off the back. So I'll go ahead and do that. On the inside of the device, you have a 1.2 GHz Snapdragon S3 dual-core processor with 1 GB of RAM. You have 4 GB of internal storage, expandable by this micro SD slot, which comes with a 4 GB, but you can expand it up to 32, of course. The battery in here is 1700 milliamps. Of course, you have NFC, so you can see, you have this on the back cover. And again, it's a 4G LTE phone. But that pretty much wraps up the hardware tour. I'll go ahead and get right into the review itself, talking about what I like and also what I dislike about the phone. I'll start off with what I dislike so that way I can end this review on a positive note, which I do on most of my reviews. Alright, so one of the first things that I have to say I dislike about the LG Viper is the screen on this guy. Not necessarily the screen size at 4 inches or the screen type, which is an IPS display, but the screen resolution at 800 by 480. Being a 4G LTE phone, I just kind of expected something along the lines of like QHD because, with faster data speeds, you want to be able to take advantage of that with higher quality YouTube videos and web browsing. But it's not that big of an issue because, like I said, it is an IPS display. And if I could give you a close-up, you can see the quality is actually pretty good on here. The IPS display does a good job at color reproduction and it just kind of makes up for the lower resolution. So it's a minor issue for me, but something's a bigger issue, and I think it'll be a bigger issue for most of you guys. At least everyone I've shown, has mentioned something about it, and that's the thickness of the device. At almost half an inch thick, 0.46 inches to be exact, it's a pretty thick phone. I mean, compared to the Samsung Galaxy Nexus, which is also available on Sprint, you could tell the thickness, is a lot more on the LG than it is on the Samsung, and this is a bigger device, so you'd expect this to be thicker, but this guy is. And then also, this guy's heavier too. It's 5 ounces or 142 grams, so it's a heavier, thicker phone. When really, with just a 4-inch screen, you expect to be lighter and thinner. But anyway, that's another issue that I have. And the last issue, or the last problem that I have with the LG Viper is the battery life. Battery life seems to be, pretty bad. I mean, it runs out, by the end of the day, I'm pretty much out. I have to charge it throughout the day. And that's not even when I'm connected to 4G LTE. I don't know if it's trying to catch on to a 4G LTE network or what's going on, but from compared to my Galaxy Nexus, my iPhone 4S, my Samsung Galaxy Note, this one doesn't last as long with its 1700 milliamp battery. But the good news is that's pretty much all I dislike about the LG Viper. I mean, if you could get past the thickness and the weight and things like that, it's not all that bad of a device. So with that said, let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that I actually like about the LG Viper compared to other mid-range handsets out there. Alright, so let's talk about what I like about the phone. And the first thing that I like about the Viper is the software on here. Now, I'm not talking about the fact that, it's running Android 2.3.7. Obviously, I'd much rather have seen Ice Cream Sandwich loaded on this guy. And LG did say they're going to be releasing Ice Cream Sandwich for this guy sooner or later. Of course, we don't have a timetable, but what I'm talking about as far as the software goes is the fact that it's pretty much stock Android. There's no custom UI by LG, taking up extra system resources. And I feel like, having this stock experience on here, not only, do I prefer it, but, that's personal preference, but also I feel like it, attributes to the phone performing a little bit faster than it would otherwise because, there's nothing running in the background as far as the UI goes, and it's just pretty quick. I mean, everything I open up is pretty fast. Obviously, some of these apps are open up in the background. Let's see if I can open up one that I haven't opened up. We'll do, let's just do YouTube. So tap YouTube. And I mean, you can see it is pretty quick even then. Obviously, it's not just the software that makes it fast. It's the Snapdragon S3 dual-core processor underneath the hood that makes it fast as well. And let's go ahead and run a quadrant benchmark test so we could see exactly how fast this guy performs compared to the other devices out there. So I'll go ahead and run the benchmark, and as soon as the benchmark is done, I'll unpause the video because I don't want to bore you with it going through its steps. So anyway, I'll go ahead and pause the video and come right back as soon as it's done. Alright, so the benchmark test is done. I'll go ahead and hit yes, and let's see if we get the score. So the device scored a 3067, so definitely a good benchmark score, similar to what you get on the Galaxy S2 on T-Mobile or AT&T, where they're using the Snapdragon S3 processor. So definitely pretty good considering this is only a mid-range phone. At $100, that's definitely a good value as far as speed goes. Some of the other things that I like about the device are the fact that it has NFC and comes preloaded with Google Wallet, same thing as the Nexus S. And obviously the benefit of this is not only being able to use it, but I also feel like it kind of future-proofs your phone, because NFC obviously is a technology that's going to get more and more popular as time goes on. And the fact that this guy has it, isn't going to make your phone feel outdated. And also, speaking of not feeling outdated, the fact that it has 4G LTE, you're going to be able to run on Sprint's fastest internet connection as soon as they roll it out in your area. Obviously, in my area in Irvine, California, they still haven't rolled it out, so I'm still on 3G on this guy. But anyways, say in a year down the line they actually roll it out, you'll be able to have both NFC, you'll have 4G LTE, and like I said, you'll have the stock Android experience. Hopefully, they keep the stock Android when they update it to Android 4.0. But that's my review. Pretty much, the pros and cons of the device. The cons are the screen's resolution isn't as high as I'd like. The thickness of the device is, a lot larger or a lot more than you'd want. And also the battery life isn't necessarily the best. But the pros of the device are the fact that, it's a stock Android experience or closest to it. You have a, fast performance on here. You have 4G LTE and you have NFC. But anyway, that's my review. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button right here and subscribe. And don't forget to visit phonebuff.com for more cell phone news, reviews, and how-tos. Thank you.